In this country, diners have always been the backbone of American cuisine. With over 8,500 diners across the United States, they all seem to share the same characteristics. Great food at an affordable price, a community of people that bring energy, and a friendly staff to hold it all together. With rising food costs, raising rents, and trouble staffing, it's getting harder and harder for these restaurants to operate. So how did Matties Diner in Charlotte, North Carolina manage to survive a 600-mile relocation and stay closed for over 7 years, only to come back stronger like a true American hero? Well, in this episode of Back of House, we find out by meeting the owners, who are the nicest couple ever, seeing the food and people who bring this place together, and I may just be forced to do some real work. If Matties Diner is the communal living room of Charlotte, then Rossi and Mattie are the parents, with Rossi being the mom.
Yeah, it's just, man, a diner, yeah.
And Mattie
Ran down the line, hopped the counter, chased him, caught him in the middle of the street, beat the shit out of him.
Before we get into this, we need an introduction to the history of Matties Diner. The year is 2005, and I am 7 years old. And Mattie is rummaging around New Jersey salvage lots for diners to bring down south. Through the rubble and used cars, he saw his perfect subject. Originally the Bound Brook Diner, Mattie bought the place and drove it down to Charlotte. He then spent not 1, not 2, but 5 years repairing the diner to have it up and running by 2010. However, after 5 years, disaster struck, and Mattie needed to find a new location for his diner. So Mattie packed up the diner and put it back into storage. And that's where the story would end if this man wasn't a savage. Mattie then gathered some partners and decided to put the new diner in a used tire lot. If you look closely, you can actually see that Mattie brought his own construction vest just in case he needed to get in there and start digging himself. It's been 7 years making, but Matties Diner, the doors there are officially open. The restaurant, which was a fixer across from the North Carolina Music Factory, and now it has a new home in the Plaza Shamrock neighborhood. Reporting to you live is our pallet provisions correspondent, Paxton Leatherman. Paxton, what are you seeing down there?
I mean, at first I think they thought we were crazy when we explained like how we wanted to put the diner on the building and upfit around it. But they really did see oh yeah, this really could be cool and this really could work. And they truly have always believed in us, which is so amazing because you just don't hear that a lot.
After talking with Mattie and Rossi, it became very clear just how much work goes into this place.
For real, I mean, there's been tears shed over this thing. You know, you fought hard for it, you spend money on it, it's been broken into, robbed. You know, like I said, I was in 5 years doing the overnights. I was in literally 27 fights in there. Yeah. Overnight people.
And that's with security.
With the bouncer and a cop. I was a much younger man. You know, I was 35 or 40. No, but it did usually end up with the bouncer or the cop pulling me off of somebody. Yeah, typically.
Good. If you're on the internet too much, you probably hear that we are in the most isolated time ever. Every week, there seems to be another study that comes out showing just how socially distant we are all becoming. And here I was, in front of the patron saints of a simpler time, two people who have dedicated a large majority of their life to an establishment that brings people together.
There's just nothing. There's nothing like it, man.
Yeah,
and it's just
the customers, our employees.
The customer, the employees. Everybody knows how special this is, and that's why we do this. Is just that feeling of knowing that we have something special that keeps us going.
Yeah.
You know, we pay the bills and we do all that. You know, things that you have to do to survive in this world. But this is an absolute 1,000% special place.
Yeah.
For everybody, for the customers, for the employees, for us, for our family, our kids. I mean, Lucia, when I met you, was 3 years old.
I believe that we take owners like Rossi and Mattie for granted, and today their work is more important than ever. To them, this diner is far more than a business. It's a vessel for shared experiences and memories. So much so that after meeting me, they gave me the keys to the restaurant and let me ghost hunt there for one night. Nothing bad happened. We only triggered the alarm twice and sent Mattie into a nervous breakdown after we found the same name of a ghost that a previous medium found a few years prior. Sorry about that one, Mattie.
I hit a nerve.
Mattie and Rossi could tell me over and over again about how important this place was to them. But it didn't fully resonate with me until Rossi put me on the line. Sandwiched between two fast-paced chefs slinging anything from burgers to omelets, I was in the middle of a dance. At first, I was nervous and felt out of place, but I soon felt the rhythm of their cooking, and I noticed something. I wasn't filming cooking, I was taping the heartbeat of the restaurant. Every dish was going to a patron that came to this diner at a certain moment in time. The pancakes for the child that begged their parents to come here, the veggie power bowl for the fit woman that pops in after yoga, the breakfast sandwich for the guy who looks like he's fighting for his life after a long night. They all contribute to this.
This guy stole 2 hot dogs, ran out the door. I hopped, ran down the line, hopped the counter, chased him, caught him in the middle of the street, beat the shit out of him.
2 hot dogs?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, again, this is how I make my money.
Thank you. Give me a...
We're chasing this puppy dog. Not even chasing the guy, he's chasing this puppy dog. A man in a police costume. Around the parking lot, down the street. Finally, like my legs are concrete, my lungs are burning. I give up. But as I give up, I see him about a block away. He falls down. So I was, oh, God, man. I start chasing him again. His head pops up. He sees me start chasing. He gets up, starts running again, goes into the woods. I know a lot of the cops used to leave us. They got me on one of the gators. We're in the woods looking for this guy. Never found him.
Never found him.
No te olvides prender el horno.
Story on Sunday, going back to why we love to do this. I was here, there was a table and they were sitting in one of the booths and they had passed by the diner after a concert a couple months ago. And the guy's name was Greg. He looked at his wife Bea and was like, next time we're in Charlotte, we have to go eat at this place. It reminds me of my childhood. He grew up in New Jersey. So they come in, they sit down, and they're looking around, and they're like, oh my gosh, like this looks so familiar. And I'm like, oh, like where are you from? He's like, well, I'm from New Jersey. And he looks around. We have a Bound Brook Fire Department, like a license plate?
Yeah, license plate.
And he points at it. He was like, that's so cool. Like, how do you guys know Bound Brook? I grew up, I went to Bound Brook High School. And I said, oh, so you must know the story. And he goes, no, like what story? I said, this is the Bound Brook Diner from New Jersey. And he just, he just started like, I mean, almost in tears and just couldn't believe that all of those memories that he had in that diner and now it's here.
Dude,
it was. He was
wild.
Like, the color of his face changed. He was just, and it was so cool.
Every dish contributed to one of these stories, and I got my opportunity to create 2 of my favorite dishes on the menu. The B-52 omelet and a stack of their loaded pancakes. When I was done, I slid them to the end of the counter to eat after I finished up filming. When I came back to my food, I noticed something. There was a bite taken squarely out of my omelet, and Rossi said she had to quality check it to make sure it was good. Initially, I didn't think much of it, but as I was eating my food, I realized something. Rossi taking a bite out of my omelet wasn't something a business owner would do. It was something that my mom, sisters, or dad have done to me in the past while I was cooking at home. When I was here, it felt like I was more at home with distant relatives than at a diner. It was this blanket of community that wraps this diner that makes it so special and so timeless. The community of people that come here are what keeps diners like this around. So when I look back on my time here, it all made sense. This diner will never die because Mattie and Rossi are the engine that will never give up. And the stories, connection, and family are the fuel that will forever keep this place running.